At least 3 people have been killed as Cyclone Fani hit the eastern Indian state of Odisha earlier today. The storm has been accompanied by heavy rain and strong winds, but it continues to wreak havoc across the cyclone-prone state. Fani hit the state's Puri town this morning. It also battered Odisha's capital, Bhubaneswar. The storm has damaged several houses and uprooted scores of trees and electric poles as it barreled along the coastline. The roof of the Bhubaneswar railway station was blown off due to the cyclone. The same happened to the roof of the capital's Kalinga Stadium. Meanwhile, Odisha's Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik said that power was being restored in the disaster-hit regions.
Our immediate priorities are taking care of the people evacuated and staying in cyclone shelters and other such places. As we speak, a Fani cyclone is still passing through Odisha. Assessment of damage would be possible only after it crosses Odisha. Puri town and Puri district where landfall happened has suffered huge damages. Energy infrastructure has been completely destroyed. Restoration of electricity is a challenging task. Electricity supply will be restored.
But it isn't just Odisha. Heavy rains have also battered the neighbouring states of Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal. Cyclone Fani is as powerful as a Category 4 hurricane. This even as the Indian Weather Department downgraded Fani to a very severe cyclonic storm. Meanwhile, the Indian Coast Guard has airlifted relief supplies to the cyclone-hit areas, while the Navy, Army and the Air Force remain on standby. In the midst of this disaster, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced a 1,000 crore rupee package for cyclone relief.
कल ही हमने संबंधित राज्य सरकारों को 1,000 करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा एडवांस में राशि रिलीज कर चुके हैं। एनडीआरएफ, भारतीय कोस्ट गार्ड, भारतीय नौसेना, थल सेना पूरी मुस्तैदी के साथ प्रशासन के साथ जुटी हुई है। मैं चक्रवात प्रभावित राज्य सरकारों को और वहां के लोगों को भरोसा देना चाहता हूं कि पूरा देश, केंद्र सरकार संकट के इस समय में हमारे उन सभी साथियों के साथ है, उन सभी परिवारों के साथ है, उन सभी राज्य सरकारों के साथ है जहां चक्रवात की आपदा आई है।
Now, the eastern coast had been on high alert ahead of the cyclone's landfall. Over 1 million people were ordered to evacuate. Nearly 900 temporary shelters were set up in disaster-prone areas. 28 teams of the National Disaster Response Force have been deployed in Odisha, 12 in Andhra Pradesh and 6 in the state of West Bengal. In addition, more than 220 trains in the eastern region were cancelled. The central government has allocated 1,000 crore rupees for relief work. The cyclone made a landfall with a wind speed of 205 kilometers per hour. Remember, a wind speed of 170 kilometers per hour is enough to cause severe damage. Odisha as a state has been receiving 20 centimeters of rainfall due to this cyclone. So that in many ways is the story of the numbers associated with Cyclone Fani. On the broadcast with me tonight is Josh Morgerman. He is a global hurricane chaser. He's joining us live from Texas. Josh, good evening. Thanks very much for making time for us here on WION. Fani is moving towards the state of West Bengal. What exactly should India be bracing for, even though the storm has been downgraded in many ways?
Well, it's going to continue to be a problem. The really sort of intense phase of the storm is over. So a cyclone gets its energy from the ocean, and once it goes over land, it gets cut off from its fuel supply, and it starts to hit that friction of being over land. So the fortunate thing is that Fani is going to continue to weaken as it passes from Odisha into West Bengal. That having been said, it's a large system and it's going to continue to create a lot of disruption into West Bengal overnight and into tomorrow. And areas like Kolkata and Kharagpur and other cities are definitely going to have some very rough weather from this thing.
All right. And when it comes to post-cyclone relief work, what do you think is going to be the main challenge for Indian agencies? Is it going to be flooding? Is it going to be disease outbreak? What has it been in your opinion and in your experience?
Well, what was interesting about this storm, it's not just how strong a cyclone is, it's how does it aim, where does it hit? And the frightening thing about Fani was it was an extremely intense cyclone. Like you said, it was equivalent to a Category 4 hurricane, and it made a direct hit on a pretty large city, Puri. You know, I was watching it on radar as it came ashore, and the intense inner core of the cyclone, that inner ring of strongest winds, made a perfect direct hit on the city. So I think there's, going to be massive damage in that area, and I think and because of the intensity of the cyclone, I think you're going to see major effects from all three of the cyclone's weapons, as I call them. There's going to be wind damage, there's going to be flooding from heavy rain, and there's also going to be massive storm surge flooding along the coast, especially those communities right just southwest of Puri that are right along the coast. I think it's going to be a mixed bag of destruction. I have to praise the Indian authorities, evacuating over 1 million people. I mean, the response, just from what you said and from what I've heard from others, the response was, or the preparation was excellent. And I have to say, I mourn all loss of life, but if only 3 people died with a cyclone this strong striking such a populated region, that is really a pretty good result, I have to say.
Right, that is something that we've been focusing our attention on as well. It is a matter of pride for India today in the manner in which the forces have prepared and responded to Cyclone Fani. Josh, many thanks for joining us this evening on the broadcast. Appreciate you taking out time to speak with us. So there you have it, Josh Morgerman, who is, of course, a professional hurricane chaser, has also looked at how the forces have responded to Cyclone Fani. We're going to take you through the numbers in just a bit, but in the meantime, just to give our viewers who are joining us right now more of an idea of the sort of extensive damage that has been reported, let's take a look at these visuals now from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, which is located in Bhubaneswar. The visuals there from earlier today when Cyclone Fani hit. One of the videos shows the roof of the undergraduate hostel within the AIIMS campus being blown away due to heavy winds. The Gandhi Engineering College bus turns turtle due to the impact of the cyclone. And these visuals are from Bhubaneswar CV Raman College Hostel. The windows there being smashed by the force of the wind. Luckily, all the students have been evacuated from there and are reportedly safe. Video number 4 on your screens captures the moment when a crane falls on nearby houses in Bhubaneswar's Patia area right after the cyclone hit the city today. There was no end to dramatic visuals. This from a fuel station in Bhubaneswar, which has been completely destroyed due to Fani. Another video showed the extent of damage on another campus where several trees were uprooted. Many water tanks were also damaged, as were lightning poles or rather electricity poles, on account of Cyclone Fani. Fani is turning out to be one of the biggest and fiercest cyclones that have hit India in recent times. We're getting you videos now that have been sent to us by our viewers in Odisha. These are World is One viewers who've sent in pictures and footage on your screens. This is from Bhubaneswar this morning, where cyclonic winds were blowing at speeds of 240 to 245 kilometers per hour, accompanied by heavy rainfall. But the worst is far from over. Fani is now nearing the coast of West Bengal after making landfall in Odisha's Puri just this morning. The state is bracing for Fani. The Kolkata airport was shut at 3 o'clock today. It's going to stay closed till tomorrow. There have also been reports of Kolkata metro services being suspended on account of the storm. India's national carrier Air India already suspended flight operations from Kolkata starting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon today. In all, more than 200 flights have been cancelled. Meanwhile, the NDRF team deployed at Digha in West Bengal evacuated a total of 132 people, including 52 children from Dattapur and Tajpur. They've been taken to nearby shelters. The Chief Minister of the state, Mamata Banerjee, was in Kharagpur and monitoring the situation closely. Cyclone Fani has also triggered heavy rains in parts of north coastal Andhra Pradesh, with gusty winds uprooting trees and electric poles. The cyclone moved close to north coastal Andhra Pradesh before it made landfall in neighbouring Odisha. Now, due to its impact, strong winds with speeds reaching up to 140 kilometers per hour lashed the coastal area of Srikakulam district. The authorities there said that 3 houses were damaged due to the winds, but there was luckily no loss of life. Around 20,000 people were shifted to 126 relief camps in the district. Meanwhile, the NDRF is carrying out relief operations in the area. Heavy downpours also lashed Visakhapatnam. The Indian Railways cancelled about 100 trains between Visakhapatnam and Howrah on Friday and Saturday. Authorities have also cancelled 22 flights from the Visakhapatnam airport. Meanwhile, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard and disaster management agencies are fully prepared and on standby. The Prime Minister on Thursday reviewed preparedness for the cyclone with his senior-most officials. The Indian Coast Guard deployed 34 teams in disaster-hit regions and was ably supported by other forces.
While these ships were proceeding towards Odisha coast, they have also scanned the Andhra Pradesh coast and ensured that there is no requirement for any relief operations there. We have also sailed out 2 ships from Chennai, one with a helicopter, to supplement the relief efforts. In addition, 3 Dornier aircraft with inflatable boats and other relief materials have been dispatched to Visakhapatnam.
So beyond the existing deployment of manpower and also equipment, is there any further request for reinforcements?
As of now, we have not received any further requests because we have positioned about 34 teams at Odisha.
So speaking about some of the equipment that we sent across, could you just elaborate on the kind of hardware that we are sending?
As I just mentioned, we have sent inflatable boats with OBMs. We have sent life jackets, life buoys, water and medicines. So these are the bare essentials which will be required to mount a relief and rescue operation, and whatever else is required would be supplemented immediately.
So you were mentioning about helicopters playing a crucial role in this operation. So kindly tell us, in these kind of gusty wind conditions, how is it that a helicopter can operate and maneuver?
Once the wind conditions die down and the situation starts to improve, the weather condition starts to improve, the helicopters are going to act as a force multiplier, wherein they can go and lift up, winch up marooned people and also drop relief materials to those in need.
Now, India is no stranger to severe weather events, cyclones included. Multiple such storms have hit the Indian mainland in the last 5 years, causing a number of fatalities. Let's take you through some of those. In October 2013, more than 30 people died when Cyclone Fani hit the states of Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. These were impacted the most. Exactly a year later, it was the same two states along with the Andaman and Nicobar Islands that were impacted by Cyclone Hudhud. More than 100 people died in that storm. In November 2017, Cyclone Okhi brought devastation to the states of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. More than 350 people were killed. Andhra Pradesh and Odisha were dealt another blow with Cyclone Titli in October 2018. More than 70 people lost their lives that time around. Now, just a month later, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry were battered by Cyclone Gaja, in which more than 40 people were killed. Not surprisingly, there was an urgency in preparations for the impact of Cyclone Fani this time around. The Indian Met Department's communication on the location and timing of Fani's landfall was timely and precise, as were details on the storm's path. This, in turn, ensured accurate coordination between the Indian forces and rescue and relief agencies. This ensured a collective and synchronized response.
And so we'll work 24/7. That's a commitment that we are working with. The only thing I'm a little worried about is that once the wind speed dies down, what will be the extent of damage that will come out of, the picture will emerge only when we do a survey on ground. And we are bracing for that. We are crossing our fingers for that. Let's hope for the best.
In many ways, the numbers tell the story of India's response to Fani. The Indian Navy deployed 7 ships and kept 6 fixed-wing aircraft and 7 helicopters on standby. Meanwhile, the Indian Coast Guard deployed 4 ships and positioned more than 30 disaster relief teams. The National Disaster Response Force, or the NDRF, deployed 41 teams in Andhra Pradesh, 28 in Odisha and 5 in West Bengal, with an additional 13 teams on standby. The central government has already released 1,086 crore rupees in advance financial assistance. The cyclone has unfortunately claimed 3 lives since it made landfall earlier today. However, that number could have been much higher had there been any let-up by India's forces and agencies who have responded as one and averted many a disaster.